Callegaro, Assistant Professor in Industrial Design. Today we are here with the students of Industrial Design from the first year to the fourth year. And we are glad to host Tobia Repossi, that is a good friend of Arucad since he was one of the first instructors here. He is a friend, is a colleague, and is an expert designer with over decades of experience in interior and mainly industrial design. And he used to work from China to America through Europe. So we are very happy to have him presenting us the 10 tips that can make or break a consumer product. Welcome,
Thank you, Martina. Thank you so much for the kind introduction. I really miss Cyprus, and I'm looking forward to going back. So I tried to collect. You do see my screen, right? So I tried. No, you cannot. You cannot see my screen, right?
Okay. I'm not sure. We should.
Yeah, you should see it. You should see it.
Yes, now you are.
Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. So I tried to collect 10 tips that we use, and we have it written very big in our office to make or break. I mean, to make a consumer product. And the first one is always make good use of design thinking, of the design thinking methodology, and make the first part, so a good research and analysis, looking for insights. So what are the insights? The insights are grips, handle, things that and problems that you can see, that you could actually answer a question, something like, what should I do? What can I do to solve this problem? So no matter which kind of design thinking, infographic or whatever schematic you're using, remember that the first part is always research and analysis and finding for this and looking for this insight. So I want to show you a couple of researches. One is a very long one, but I'm going to go very quickly, in which the insights were so powerful and so interesting that they actually made the project. So the first one is a non-contact thermometer for a company called Visiomed. The present product was that one, so it is this shape. We started to make our analysis with short interviews, and from the interviews, we, reading in between the lines, we understood immediately that there was something wrong with the product. So asking to people to keep it 10 centimeters away from the forehead, from the face, people were actually keeping that 50 centimeters. So it really came out from the research that the product had a wrong interface, and it kind of drove suicidal thoughts, which is not very good because dying is never a good thing. And by the way, this was their advertisement at the time. So this young African lady is horrified by having her temperature. So you will see what we did, and the insight here was so strong that it actually made the project itself. The project was done. It was easy. This is a research that we did recently for a Chinese company on an air purifier. So we analyzed 67 models of air purifier, different fancy shapes, different materials, whatever. Because the air purifier had a speaker inside, we analyzed all the speakers as well. And a first insight came out from the first day. So the person that was doing this research actually, I told him, why you're so quick in putting the pictures inside the PowerPoint? And he said, well, they're all on white background. Nobody actually takes a picture of the product with a background. The only companies that actually do that are this one. And this is IKEA stuff and Electrolux stuff. So this is the first insight, and it's going to be very interesting to understand why they do that. We analyze the colors, we analyze the patterns of the air purifier from what is interesting or not. We analyze the shapes. Most of the market goes for a regular shape, like a cylinder or a cubicle shape. We analyze the material, and here the insight comes out pretty strongly. So everybody goes for plastic, but some people go for metal, wood, and fabric as well. So there is a part of the market that goes for fabric. I don't want to bother you here. We analyze all the technologies that are involved in these things. Naturally, the more money you spend, the more technology you have. This is nothing new. But take a look at what happens in the market, because we analyze the prices now. We were able to do that. There's a First World War battle at the beginning. Then there's another big niche of market, and then in the green side, there are people that are going for very strange shapes and very strange material, fabric and rubbers and very strange things. We took a look at all the reviews in Amazon. Lots of things came out here. I don't want to be too long. So this is another way to get inside. Usually Amazon or Taobao or these websites, they give you a lot of information about the products. Google as well, same thing. You can grab a lot of information, just understanding of which products are sold, which are not sold, understanding which one is talked about and which one is not important. And this is our part. This is the interesting part and where the insights come out. So we understood that there are five different shapes of these products that resemble white goods, kitchen appliances, PC, better designed PC, and furniture. And IKEA, for example, is making air purifier that are looking for that looks like furniture. They put legs on it, so they kind of become tables. Electrolux is doing the same thing. It means that because this product is actually in a product extension situation, so people know it. There are different people that are buying different products. You give to the early adopters white good and kitchen appliances because they're used to that. You give to the late majority something more technological. So what you give to the last part of the life of the product, either you give them hidden technology, which is the end of the product itself, or you give them many different functions, more functions, or you change completely compartment, you change completely topic. And this is what they are doing in IKEA and Electrolux. They understood that the market was shrinking. They're making the leap towards another field because they understand that their field is under menace. So this is what the companies are doing. You can see it very clearly in Samsung, what they gave you before and what they give you now. You can see very clearly in Electrolux. You can see it in Philips. You can see it in Toshiba, and so on. So the big insight that came out from a good analysis and research was we don't have anymore to go with a product that goes into the laundry, but we have to go in the living room, in the bedroom, in the office. We have to speak with the objects, the devices that are there, with Alexa, with the materials like fabric, and with beds, with pillows, and with modern offices. So again, a good analysis and research, a good insight. The product was done mostly. The second tip, and I cannot get too much into that, but if you want, take a look at my TEDx for AutoCAD. You will see what I mean for that is use synesthesia. So in order to get ideas, synesthesia is a fantastic way to predict the future. And if you want to design a new SUV, don't look at just all the SUV in the market, but look at something else as well. If you need to design a new gamepad for a PlayStation, take a look at objects that have the same strong interaction with the hand, like tools, for example. So our clients, they always ask her, what is the color of the year? And we know it because of synesthesia. We take a look at other fields. We take a look at computers. We take a look at fashion. We take a look at cars. And when you know where you are, it's very simple to understand what is the color of the year, what is the design choice of the year, or what you want to do to in that kind of market. So again, if we were talking about the non-contact thermometer, our synesthetic question was, what else do we point at our face that doesn't create suicidal feelings? And yes, we do. We point other things. We point hair dryers. We point cosmetics or perfumes. So we designed a thing that has a different interface that looks like a perfume, or that looks like a cosmetic device. For VR glasses, this is another project of VR glasses, the same. Today, VR glasses are pieces of plastic without soul. What can we do to create affection? Is there another field that creates affection? Well, fashion bags always create a fantastic affection. So we created a VR glass that is not yet another piece of plastic, but it looks like a Prada bag with the Primo Fiore leather from Florence, with all the details and the little technical stuff. But this is just aesthetics. But you can also apply synesthesia to mechanics, for example. So remember the VR glasses, they always contain a phone, and either you have VR glasses that are supposed to go with that specific phone, so you have tons of them and you change them so much, or you have big mechanical clamps that are actually keeping the different phones together with springs, whatever. Which, of course, having in your face is not very smart. So we asked the synesthetic question: how do we fix it without mechanics? Is there somebody else that solved this problem? And we found this fantastic sticky nanotechnology pads that are very light and can hold a phone in different conditions, no matter what is the size of the phone. So we used it for there. And other project that I can show you, we were taking in audio problems in which you always have these little left and right letters on your headphones. You never know. You have to wear glasses in order to know which kind of headphone you're using. Well, is there any other field that have actually solved this problem? Yes, electrical field. They do red and black. Why don't we take it to headphones, and so on? I can show you so many other projects that are related to alcoholic beverages. People are looking for female or male shapes, and even also stealing shapes from nature is always a nice synesthetic question. What would have nature designed as if it was a lamp or if it was something containing? The third, interrupt me if you want, Martina. The third tip that I think is absolutely crucial nowadays is the super connection. And I'll try to give you an example of a story. This was the panorama of design when I started doing this job. There was an architect or designer in the middle that was called by a client. He was talking with the engineer. He was talking with the supplier. He was taking care of the exterior of the building, the villa, let's say, and he was designing the interior as well. Very simple, very straight. Today, design is much more complex. You have transportation design, you have design for devices, for appliances, for furniture, for kitchenware, for fixture and fittings, and I mean, you name it. There are many. Look at the environment today. You have a client that calls a marketing team, that calls a PCB design. PCB is the printed circuit board, so it's the electronic of a product. It calls an industrial designer that speaks with the plastic supplier, speaks with the engineer, speaks with a PM, a product manager, mostly in China. There's a distribution channel. There's a market. I mean, the overall complexity of the whole thing is extremely complex nowadays. And I can see from the screen that there's a very long latency of my screen because I'm already 2 slides ahead. And if you think about the time to market, it's pretty much the same. Martina, we are on the next slide. I don't know why it doesn't show. I don't even have an idea if they're listening to me. Okay, so the time to market has drastically been reduced. A chair in the 50s was like 5 years in the making. A Vespa in the 60s was like 4 years in the making. An electronic product in the 70s was 3 years. The first iPhone 2015, the iPhone 4 2015, 2 years in the making. Modern products were asked to press the red button of the chain after a few weeks from the brief. And the lifespan of those products were different. A modern product, you're very lucky if it lasts 1.5, 3 years. In the meantime, that scheme that I told you before is spread all around the planet. So unfortunately, all these people that I was talking to you about, they're not in the same place. You have a client in Hong Kong, you have a PCB designer in India or Vietnam, you have us designing in Italy or in Cyprus, wherever we are. We have plastic coming from Malaysia, assembly in China, distribution from Hong Kong. So it's crucial to use modern tools in order to be super connected. We use Onshape that we are very fan of. It's a sharing platform, which by the way is free. It's probably the best cat in the planet at the moment, that can share files and gives limit to the files with the different companies that are working together at the same moment on the same file. The first tip is related to copies. So the story, of course, is try to be the first and don't worry too much about copies. In my lifetime, I've been copied a lot, and I'm always very happy to be copied, because it means that you're doing something innovative, and that should make you happy. But I can try to tell you a story of this is a story of a camera in which being first is being better, and it's being first in the market. So the company is called Cool Group. We started with them with this camera. These cameras are intended to be put in fridges of supermarket, for example, understand what kind of product is there, and understand if you have taken out a beer or a Coca-Cola and sell to the main company the order for a new Coca-Cola, for a new beer. So we started with this camera. We ended up with this one. I don't know if you can still see me. We ended up with this one that has inside 2 rotating cameras in order to accommodate different angles. So instead of having thousands of accessories, they now have one camera that fits them all. We are now taking out one camera. So the new camera will have just one camera and not 2. It doesn't need them anymore. And the new camera that we're doing, which is called the Silver Bullet, doesn't have any more the batteries. It doesn't need to be taken care of the batteries itself, and it has solar panels that are working with the cooler's light, the LED light of the solar panel. So this is a story to tell you that because the market is here at the moment, the design of the competitors' company are here. In that case, we are so far from the market that we're always riding the wave. We're always first one. So being copied is not at all a problem. I have a fifth tip, which is design for sustainability and with moral rules. This is such a big thing that I didn't prepare in his slide. Just remember it. It's crucial. The market is beginning to understand it. The sixth tip is use management systems a lot, because you will not work alone in your life. You will work in teams, and the teams are always getting bigger and bigger. Using management systems is crucial. Whatever it's Miro or Slack or whatever, we use Trello, for example, but this is just This is just a tip. Those are whiteboards in which you can use as a repository of products, of pictures and files, but also as a comment machine. Otherwise, you will drown in emails, and this is going to be terrible for such a connected job. The seventh tip the seventh rule that I suggest you is to prototype a lot, meaning that you can prototype by your own with some 3D printers, resin, SLA, FDM, whatever, the consumer 3D printers, but the ability to use services like iMaterialize, but there are many on the planet that can prototype your part and sell and send one prototype to the client and one to the designer and one to whatever the company that makes the electronic in India, is amazing, because you have one day the DHL is knocking at your door at the same time in 3 countries, and you can speak about the same exact product that you're talking about. This is something that we try to do. I don't know if we achieve it, but I think make it better is the new make it different. One day it was part of the designer's work to make things different, but you can be different even being the idiot of the village. The ugliest person in the village is not being different. Doesn't mean being good or being better. I think being better is the new make it different. I want to show you our latest thing that we're doing. This is a robot by Ubiquiti, so a Magni robot. It has a 100 kilograms payload, and it's intended as a base to go in dark factories. So the dark factories are the factories in which there's no people mostly. So there is no light. I want to show you what we did with this little machine. I hope you can see the video.
This is an autonomous robot based on Magni robot platform, suitable for industrial use and especially for dark factories with reduced intervention. This AMRs will be equipped with cameras and sensors to move into the most difficult environment. It has a payload of 100 kilograms and can be programmed to interact with other robots in the same company.
So this robot is a small Tesla in practice. Has a few cameras, and it recognizes a cat, a dog, a human being, or of course obstacles. The ninth tip is no materials and production technique. You won't be able to drive innovation or to make innovative products without understanding the techniques and without having a huge culture of techniques. I want to show you an example, which is a carbon fiber scooter, which you can say it's ugly, it's beautiful, doesn't matter, but the structure of this scooter is fully carbon, and we couldn't. Yeah, you can see it now. Okay, and we couldn't do it if we didn't know all the specifics and the rules of carbon fiber. And the last one is pretty. It's pretty funny because it's related to a developing country, and I called it "Know Your Limits." Know your limits. Sometimes limits in design projects are good because they, instead of a wide open canvas or being in a desert or with a white paper that always drives anxiety feelings, you have some limits, and the limits can be of culture, of price, and of technology. I want to show you an electric scooter that we did for India. These guys, they mostly have. I mean, we know that in India they're very good at using tubes. So we designed this scooter that it's all based on pen tubes. It has, of course, different accessories. Remember that the woman in India goes sideways. So you have to have specific saddles. Western saddles are not working. This is good for riders as well. You can deliver pizza or transport things with these accessories. You can use it for work or transportation of stuff. You can even attach a trailer to that. It uses a battery which is very similar to car batteries. So instead of charging the scooter, you actually take out the battery and you can use another one or ask your friend to. And the battery can be put in different ways. Yeah, I hope I didn't went out of the time, Martina. Ma perché così indietro, scusa? I can't hear you, Martina. Can't hear it all. Martina, I cannot hear you.
Wait.
Now I can. Now I can.
Okay, now you can? All right. Okay, so we thank you for the presentation. I think that most of the 10 tips you gave us is something that we were already trying to teach these guys in these years. So hopefully
Great.
They know some of them already and they will remember about them. But of course, this was a good summary of some.
Yeah, I could see. I could see
the
some
Bible of
students in the crowd.
Yeah, you should recognize some heads, even if they are
Yes,
from the
yes,
backwards.
I can see a head that I probably recognize.
They're all your ex-students.
Yeah, that's suited for sure.
Okay, so as the final slides was saying, do you have any question, guys? Are you curious about anything? And luckily we had some internet interruptions, but let's say that mainly we understood your point and we saw many interesting projects. The point of the technology, the use of material, knowledge of the culture where you are designing, like who are your clients is of course the first step to know. I think that this was very interesting summary of, let's say, all the design thinking steps that you all have to follow. But you're really not curious of anything? You have this chance to make a private interview to Toby? Nothing at all? We have a very shy audience, you know.
I know they're shy. They always have been.
Okay, so if you
guys,
guys say, do you want to add anything else, Toby?
No, I'm fine. I was glad to see you, Martina, and I was honored to be here. And thank Emre. I think I can see him, Emre Hoca, somewhere in the left. So thank you, Emre, as well.
It's coming.
Yeah, he's coming. Goodbye, guys.
Okay, so next time we hope to have you live in person here.
You will.
With nice classes for our students. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.